Hi, Stitcher.
Hi!
I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha, and welcome to the Pattern Queens Stitch With Us, episode 14.
Woo!
It is after dark, we're a little crazy, and it's a Monday, July 5th, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And silliness and rambles and lots of shenanigans, and sometimes about visiting the Great Hall. I don't know how much of that you can see, but
You can see a little bit. We've got a little bit of a glare, but
yeah, that's my light up there. There are some floating candles for you.
Nice.
And then I'm going to pull it back, so you don't have to have my light so much.
So I got a haircut.
It's gorgeous.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I basically lost like 3/4 of the hair I had. So I guess you guys couldn't really tell in videos. You could just tell that it was long, but it was like to my waist. It was pretty long. So very excited.
Were you able to donate it?
Yeah. So we did it to Wigs for Kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is a pretty good organization. And I mean, getting rid of that much hair, why not?
So did you weigh yourself before you went and weigh yourself after?
No, I should have, because I'm sure I lost 10 pounds worth of hair.
I bet you did. Your hair is very thick. We should tell them that too. It's
not so much that like my actual like strand of hair is thick. It's that I have a lot of it. And so I had not gotten a haircut for 2 years. I'm really bad about getting my hair cut on a regular basis, guys. And my hair grows really fast. And I was also taking prenatal vitamins. And there was also a pandemic. And I also had a newborn. And, you know, all the excuses. But so my hair was out of control. Though James is a little bit like, something's different. I'm used to grabbing something. And it's not there anymore.
My safety blanket is gone. Do you want to show what you're working on?
Yes. So I don't have the picture pulled up. I'm sorry, everyone.
Do you want me to do mine and you can find yours?
Yes.
Okay. Because mine is a paper pattern. I'm doing American Sampler House from Annie B's Folk Art. This is when I started during May, and I just loved it so much that I didn't want to put it away and forget it. So I thought if I did it with our Stitch With Us, at least I would visit it a little more often. And last time I finished a bunch of the white and started a little bit of the red on it. So that's where I will be working tonight. Did I do this long enough?
Well, you know, you'd think since I lost the paper part of this pattern that I would have been smart and taken a screenshot of what I was doing, but I don't know that I ever did.
Oh,
so
no.
Sorry, everyone. Like I said, it's after dark. I'm a little disorganized. It has been a day. It's been a nice day. I was off of work today, so I got to spend the day at home. And James didn't have daycare today, so he got to spend the day at home. So we were able to have some sweet time. And I'll have to give you all of the James updates if I can ever find this pattern.
I don't think I need that pillow.
Which it's not looking like I'm going to be able to find it. So I'm just going to show you guys. So it's R2 from Spot Colors. And you can see I have R2D2 done. And I'm working on BB8 down here. I don't know if he's going to get finished tonight, but he's going to get pretty close. So sorry I don't have the full pattern to show you, or the picture. I have the pattern, but I can't show you that, so I'm sorry.
Yeah. I got to go this morning and meet up with a couple of my friends. And one of them is my friend Debbie, who I stitched the 25/7 for.
Oh, nice.
And it wasn't even on her radar that I would be finished with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting there, and our other friend Cecilia, we were talking about crafts and things, and she said, "Oh, I could never stitch anything. I just don't have the time. And I said, well, I thought this was perfect intro. Let me show you what you can do in 25 minutes a day. And I just pulled it out and handed it to Debbie, and she's kind of like, what is this? I had ironed it and then rolled it in paper towel just to give it a little structure and form. And
Right.
she started unrolling it, and her whole face was just like, oh, it's my piece. And she was all excited.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was really sweet.
Always cool whenever you can have that grand reveal.
Yes. And we were at breakfast, and they brought our breakfast right after that. So she didn't get a chance to really sit and look at it there, but I'm sure she will look at it later. And when I got home, I said, oh my gosh, I forgot to take a picture of you with the project. And she goes, oh, I'll have somebody take my picture and I'll get it to you. So
Nice.
probably the next time that we film a regular floss tube, I will have a picture, and I'll make sure that I ask her if I can show it. But um, she is only about 4'9", 4'10". So that piece is at least half her height.
Oh, wow.
And she's already thought about it. She was asking about tips for framing and where she could take it. And
Mhm.
so we talked a little bit about that too.
Nice.
I don't think we convinced Cecilia, but we did say maybe we could have craft night.
Mm. See, I have a friend that I have standing, like a standing arrangement to have a craft night, but it's the most ill-fated craft night there has ever been. Because we used to try to get together every once in a while to like just hang out and watch TV and do crafts. Well, then she got pregnant with her first son, which was fine. We continued to try to do craft night. And then she was just like, yeah, I just want to sleep, which fair. Then she had her son. And so we tried to do craft nights after he was asleep because she had a husband who worked in the evening. So we tried to do it after he went to sleep. And so that only happened for a little bit. Then we both got pregnant at the same time, and then that didn't happen. So we just, every once in a while, we're like, we really need to have craft night again. And then it just never happens. Speaking of that same friend, we went over to their house last night and for some 4th of July festivities. And we had like a nice little cookout, and we didn't stay very late because James needed to get in bed, and so did my husband because he ended up working last night. But
Oh,
they had this fun little water table that you just fill with water, and they had like little boats. And it's short enough that, so James is almost a year old, and their youngest son is only a couple months behind him. So they can both stand at this table. Um, and so they had a couple different little boats, just plastic boats. The same exact boat, just different colors. So James grabbed the blue boat, and he was happily playing with that until his friend took that boat. And so I'm like, well, no big deal. I'll just give James the pink boat because that was the other boat that was there. Exactly the same boat. He was not happy. He looked at it and he's like, this isn't the boat I was playing with. And so he starts going, nah, 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 nah. Because whenever we're not happy with a choice James is making, we say, no, no, James, no, no. And so he keeps going, nah, nah, nah. And then he starts doing this with his hands, just looking at his friend. And then he looks at me and he looks at his dad. And I'm like, are you tattling on your friend because your friend took your boat? And he remembered because they played a little bit, and then we had our dinner, and then we took him out, and they were playing at the table again. And I tried to hand him the pink boat back, and he was like, I'm getting that blue boat before my friend gets over here.
I don't know about your neighborhood, but I might have been up late last night. You can go look at my Instagram and see why I was up late. I posted. Um, but they were still shooting off fireworks in my neighborhood, and I mean loud fireworks. They woke Jeff up. They were
Mhm.
still shooting them off after 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
So Jeff thinks it was even closer to 3 a.m.
Wow.
So it was crazy. And let me tell you, we live in Gladstone and fireworks are illegal.
Hmm.
So not only was it way too late, and we have a noise ordinance, but they're even illegal. So yeah, strike
Well,
one, two, three.
right. Well, they have been going off at all hours in my neighborhood for at least a week now. And there were some, I don't think, I live in like a city of a couple hundred people. And I don't think that there's really any ordinance. And if there is, we don't have our own police department to really enforce. We'd have to call the county or a neighboring suburb. So, so there isn't like there was no one patrolling for fireworks
Mm-hmm.
here, even if they are illegal. I know just a couple houses down, they were shooting off fireworks because whenever we came home last night, it was getting close to dark and they were shooting them off. But I was just exhausted. And at about like 11 o'clock, I just fell right asleep. I don't know if they went off in my neighborhood.
I won't tell you how late I was up because I counted as today until I go to bed.
Right.
So I finished my project on July 4th,
Mm.
but I won't
All
tell you
I
what time it was on July 4th.
all I know is that my husband goes to work early um, on Sunday nights, and he came out and he looked at me and he's like, "Well, I woke up whenever he came out, and he looked at me and he's like, think you should probably move to bed." And I was like, "Okay,
All right, honey.
I'll do that." Cool, because the night before he had woken me up and he was like, "You should probably go to bed." And I said, "Oh no, I got a little nap. I'm just gonna stay up and stitch a little bit because I have quiet time." And yeah, I just slept most of the night on that couch.
Oh,
Not the most comfortable place to sleep, so.
I think I managed to get over here without a pair of scissors.
Oh no.
Um, my the disembodied voice next to me and the fingers that you keep seeing every once in a while. That's Katie Landis. Keisha
Ah,
didn't see you do that.
oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know if you all saw, but yesterday was supposed to be our normal filming day, and the Landises have two retreats coming up in 2 weeks.
Back to back.
One is this week, one is next week. And Lars like, busy. I said, well, I get that. So I filmed like like a 50-second thing of me sitting with James while James was eating pancakes to tell you guys that we weren't going to be filming yesterday. And it's up if you want to go see it. Just, I mean, don't go to
It's
see me.
quick.
Go
Yeah.
to see James because he hasn't been on. I realized it's probably been since Christmas since he was actually in a video. So, but anyway, I made sure that I snuck in one Katie Landis.
Oh
And
my
Stitches
gosh.
Stitches
Don't
Well with Vodka was like hashtag Katie Landis. And I was like,
uh,
I said it just for you. I
and
sent
I
it
was going to say, don't go look up hashtag Katie Landis because that is not my Katie Landis.
to you.
And she has some questionable poses there. Did you hear the snicker off screen?
If
I
she's
made her
not wearing a
shorts.
plaid poncho or outerwear or some sort of Harry Potter related t-shirt, it's not our Katie Landis.
You call shenanigans, huh? I don't know how I managed to get over here without all of my stuff in my little tray.
Well, I brought down, I was like, oh, well, because I guess I've been down here for a few weeks now. But I know that I have in the guest bedroom, I have my whole setup with an extra set of all of my stitching things.
Uh-huh.
And so whenever I was coming down, I was like, well, I should probably grab my scissors. I don't think I have scissors down there. I have 2 pairs of scissors down here. I'm
Okay.
overly prepared.
I just tried to thread my needle and all it did was shred the thread.
Oh
So
no.
without my threader, it is not a good thing. Darn it. And of course that didn't come down on this. There we go. We'll try it again from the other end. Rare sighting here. I'm licking my floss. It used to be the funny thing that you could tell who the floss lickers were because the flosses were not color fast at all. And if you were stitching with one color long enough, it would be on your tongue.
Oh, really?
And your lips. Yeah. So if you spent an afternoon stitching with friends and you licked your floss every time, yeah, we would all know what color you worked with.
Oh, that's funny. See, you'd be able to tell by my fingers because I usually like wet a finger and then wet my floss. I don't just stick the floss right in my mouth. So I would have telltale fingers. So happy belated birthday. Did you have a great birthday?
Thank you. I did. We celebrated together because you said we have 2 retreats. The official first day of this first retreat is Katie's birthday on the 8th. So we had planned ahead of time because we kind of last year we kind of came down to it and we had an extra week or so in there so that we weren't busy on our birthdays. And we had gone someplace on my birthday and then did something fun on Katie's birthday too. But needing to have both retreats and do them back to back. And Bree's birthday is also this month, and we didn't want to be busy on her birthday. Katie very graciously said she would concede and we could start on her birthday. So that was a long way to tell you that the Saturday trip that we took ended up being to celebrate both our birthdays. And I always say the wrong name of the shop, and I am going to look real quick. Do you know?
Can I say something that just occurred to me?
Sure.
Between your family and my family, I think we have every week in July covered with birthdays.
Oh my gosh. That is
Jane
funny.
has one right there in the middle, and then I have one right there at the end.
We went to the Stitchery Nook in Osage, Iowa.
Oh, fun.
And it was a lot of fun. And oh my gosh. So not only is the shop a lot of fun, but then they took us upstairs to see the retreat center because nobody was staying there. And they've just remodeled it.
Oh,
and
wow.
It is fabulous. And we were talking about when we think we would like to go and stay there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know how far. Where are your in-laws? Are they close to Des Moines?
Yeah, they're in Des Moines. Well, my mother-in-law is in Des Moines, and then my sister-in-law is, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the town because they're like kind of in the middle, but it's near the covered bridges of Madison County.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit south of Des Moines.
I know that is just about 2 hours from there.
Okay.
So, if we plan the right time, maybe you would even be able to go up and you would have somebody who would probably James watch for a day, huh?
Well, we could leave the boys there.
And all the girls could come up, right?
My mother-in-law and sister-in-law would come stitch.
So, but it was really, really cool. And we just had such a good time. And in fact, I think I can get it together and I will insert a little video here. Hi guys, we're here at the Stitchery Nook and I thought I would give you a tour. So right up here at the beginning, I'm going to tell you that they have so many models in the shop. And this is the home shop for Waxing Moon Design. She is local, so they have all of her models, which is just a fun thing to get to see. Look at all the cute mill hills. And then everything is split out by designer. So you get to see everything that you want by designer. I'm going to flip around to this side too. So you get to see here and up along the wall. I'll go down a little further and then turn around again for you. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? All the country cottage. Look down here. I've already been through the shop. I'm sure that I am now going to see things that I did not see before. The ladies are super helpful. There is so much that they can find and help you out with. And the shop is just gorgeous. Look at all this. So fun. Some more models up here. This shop is located in Osage, Iowa. It was about a 5.5 hour drive for us. Not terrible. We're pretty good about just hopping in the car and going, as you've discovered. And today is actually my birthday, and we're celebrating Katie's birthday as well. Now look at this. All these cute little frames. Some Lizzie Kate. The scroll rods. Cue snaps, all the things. There's even sewing thread and more frames. Their framing area back here. And I am kind of going to just do this so that you can see what this whole shop looks like from back here, instead of going up and down all of the aisles. And then, if that wasn't enough, this whole section is scrapbooking. Look at all of that. And then we have all of the threads and lots of fabric and kits and more models. Now, all of these models, they have available for purchase. So you could get whatever you wanted that you see if you just call the shop. And I'm going to come over. We have all of the buttons and beads and more threads. I got to make a selection out of some of these rings. They're the silks. Oh, they're so beautiful. I'll show that in our video. Here's the DMC. And then there is the whole fabric area. So they have all of these fabrics on the side. And then there's a bunch of seraphim fabric and all of these colored cotton and all of this. And then a couple of clearance tables. Nice big table to sit down and work from. Just fun. So that's it. Hopefully you just got to see that and you enjoyed my quick walkthrough of the shop. I didn't think about doing it until the very end when our friend Athena, who is Stitching Goddess Designs, when she said, "Is it okay if I take video?" And then I'm like, "Oh, I'm supposed to do that too." So mine is not as in depth as it normally is, but you will get a really good idea of what the shop looks like.
Great. I
And
would like to go there.
it was fun. And then we had a lovely lunch afterwards and then drove home. It's a bit of a drive for us.
Hmm.
And the other person who went along with us, Keisha wasn't able to go this time, but we did pick up Carla Rolodex stitches, and
Nice.
that was awfully fun. And we just had a great time with her. And then we had another friend, Sarah, who came along, who surprised us at the shop.
Oh,
And I was
cool.
trying to think what Sarah's name is. I'm kind of
Is
looking at Katie, and she's not, I don't know that she'll give me any help.
that this?
Oh, yes, I can look this up now. Katie's giving me great help.
Yeah.
It's memphis.sarah.e.
Ooh.
Memphis.sarah.e. That's her. And we know her because of one of our retreats. And she was in the area and I guess spoke with Athena ahead of time.
Hmm.
And Athena said, "Yes, come join us, have fun." So we had a surprise visitor.
Fun.
So,
Yeah, I was trying to get my mom to come down so that she could help watch James because I would have gotten home too late.
oh, yeah.
'Cause my husband had to work that night. So so we went to breakfast because we've decided that that's going to be our Saturday thing, because James wants to be up by 7. I don't know who decided that, but he did.
You get him
Um,
up all week, so he's getting you up on the weekend.
right, right. He's like, I know that usually we sleep until 7:45 during the week, but you're home all day on Saturday.
I got to get my
So,
45 minutes.
right, we got to have our extra time. So, we've been going out to breakfast, and that's been really nice. And then we decided that we would try to go to the park. Um, we've tried to go to the park a few times, but it's been really crowded, and we don't especially want to go when it's really crowded. But it was early enough that there weren't that many people there. We went to Penguin Park, which, if you are in Kansas City, it's especially the northern part of Kansas City, it's kind of a landmark. Um, it's been
Yep,
around
I
for
even went there. It's been there long enough that I went there as a child.
right. So it's like it's an establishment, and
Mhm.
it's named Penguin Park because there's a big statue of a penguin there, and they have there's the big statue of the penguin, then they have a little statue of a penguin holding a water fountain, so that's fun. And then they have a statue of a kangaroo and then a statue of an elephant that there's a slide attached to. So really, really fun. But we,
So originally,
mhm.
the penguin had a slide in it,
Oh, really?
and the kangaroo also had a slide. Something had a swing attached outside. I would
See,
really have to think on that one.
see, I know that the penguin, you can climb up a little bit, but the kangaroo, you can climb up pretty far. I don't really know that. I unfortunately never went there whenever I was small, but we take every time one of my nieces comes to visit, we always go there because it's a park near our house that's really fun. So, but and I'm sure that they have these other places, but it's one of the only places that I've seen they have these swings that have like the baby swing and then like an adult swing together, and you sit across from each other and you can swing with your kid. And so that was really fun. We got to do that. And then they have kind of an area that's for younger kids, like the slide isn't as tall and all that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And so we went over there, and James climbed up some stairs, and he was very excited about that. James wants to climb everything he can possibly get his hands on. And so then he climbed up the stairs and we kind of led him to the slide. And he went down the slide and he thought that was fun. And then he turned around and he started trying to climb up the slide. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to have one of the rule breaking kids who just climbs up the slide. So, but I mean, I could have guessed that about James. He is quite the daredevil. So we had a lot of fun at the park that day.
Awesome.
Even though I couldn't go shopping with you guys, it was still a pretty good day.
Yeah, and I did manage to get a little bit of haul.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what all you got.
Well, and I need to make a pit stop by your house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it could be that there's a little stash that you got as well.
Ooh, well, that's exciting because I didn't order anything, so who knows? That's fun. See, I'm trying to think. Oh, so James updates. He has decided that he waves now. Just a little bit. So he'll just like be sitting there and he'll just start doing this. And so every time he does that, I go, hi. So, you know, he's just training for the intro to our videos. It's fine. And then he's also started clapping.
Oh.
So he has this toy. And I mean, you've probably seen these sorts of things where you like turn different levers and things and they pop up. I think I've talked about this before. I've at least told Katie about it. He has one of these things that you twist different things or push different levers and different characters pop up. They're Sesame Street characters in this particular one. It has what we call Sassy Bert, because Bert is one of the characters and you twist something for Bert to pop up. But sometimes if you don't like twist it a little bit more, Bert will not go down whenever you try to like push him down. He will stay up. He'll just keep popping up. So we call him Sassy Bert. And so anyway, James loves playing with this toy. He hasn't really figured out how to get everything to pop up yet, except for Big Bird, because all you have to do for Big Bird is push a button. But he hasn't quite figured it out yet. But he loves, if you make them all pop up, then he'll close them. And so just this week, see, every time he would do it, I'd be like, oh, hooray, you closed it. And I would clap for him. Well, he's decided that now he claps. So every time he closes them, I just look over and he's doing this and just looking at me, waiting for me to clap also for him, because it's a major accomplishment that he put them all down. And today we were playing with it. And so I popped them all up and he started clapping for me. And I was like, oh, well, nice. I usually don't get applauded.
So accomplished.
Yeah. I usually don't get applauded. This is nice. So those are James's big accomplishments this week. He has started clapping and he has started trying to wave. And he's also been tattling on his friends for stealing his boat. So
we're just trying to survive in a house during all of the heat. And I know it's not anything here like it is in other parts of the country, but the poor outdoor kitty, when I got home today, she was laying outside under one of the vehicles that was already parked. And I opened my door and I heard meow. And I looked and she just looked like melted butter on the driveway. She was just tired. So poor babies, take care of your babies and make sure they have enough water outside. And yeah, and the inside cats are just nutso.
Yeah,
completely and totally nutso. That's just how we roll.
Well, now you have all of these like fun backdrops and fun things, I'm sure, just preparing for the retreat. They're probably just, well, I don't know. You don't have a box for it as much as you did before, now that you've shipped out for the retreats.
Yes, and we rearranged today. No, let me put this the right way. Katie and Bree rearranged today. And so our living space is much more open because Katie and I use a big table during the retreats that we set our computer and various other things on during the retreat.
Mhm.
And um, when it is set up with the other things that we had in here, it was pretty well impossible to get by.
Right.
So we did rearranging and now everything will fit beautifully and everyone's happy, but it's really wide open.
Mm.
And the cats are going crazy. They are running, racing through here. If you keep hearing chuckling on the video, that's Katie laughing because the cats are just tearing through here.
Oh, really?
So, yes, they are just nuts.
Oh my goodness. We've decided that James could probably roam a little bit freer than he has been in the house, which we don't have a whole lot of space to roam in our house, but he can now access the hallway. And so he has been using one of his little, like, it's a push thing that he can walk behind that will support him, because we still aren't walking quite yet. He just needs to be confident enough to take the step. He can do it, but he hasn't gotten the confidence up yet. But he has been pushing this thing up and down, up and down, up and down. And sometimes it'll get caught and then he'll get frustrated. But so it's kind of slanted on the front. So he'll push it fine and then he'll try to push it going back rather than turn it around. So it's just this big slanted thing that he's trying to lean over so that he can grab onto the hand thing. And so it'll start moving and it looks like he's like trying to run behind it, that he's just like riding this thing down the hallway.
Poor
Um,
guy.
oh boy. Oh boy. He's going to be a handful whenever he figures out how things work, because he already seems like the kind of kid who would probably run behind it and then just jump on it. So he's just got to figure out how that would work out.
So we did not make it out to go watch fireworks last night. We had grand plans that we did,
Mm-hmm.
but like Keisha told you guys, um, I didn't even stop to do filming with her. And it turned out to be a good thing because um, Keisha's husband got stuck at work and didn't get
Yes.
home until really late. So
Right.
it would have been difficult for us to be filming anyway. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that he would have felt the pressure to get in and um, get settled. And we just didn't need to do that. But
Yeah.
it meant that we were working very late as well. We worked all day and got a lot of planning done, and there's still more to do. And Katie Landis is sitting here next to me working diligently while I'm on here filming with you. We have a day of planning tomorrow, as well as fun shopping for um, retreat snacks.
Nice.
So, hey, there's a question for you guys. Do you have a favorite retreat snack that you like to take? Now, you'll have to tell us, is there one you like to take with you to a retreat? And since we've been doing things at home, so when you're on Zoom calls or whatever, do you have a snack you like to have during that?
Mm. See, I feel like retreat snacks are hard because you don't want to get food all over what you're stitching. So I feel like my favorite um, retreat snacks are different than my favorite just like snacks.
Mine are to some extent.
There was one retreat, I think it was the Show Me retreat actually, where you guys gave us trail mix. I was like, "Ooh, this is a really good retreat snack because it is salty and sweet, and I will not have like anything other than maybe a little bit of salt on my hands."
Mm-hmm. Something that you can easily get off. Yes.
Mhm.
Katie and I like hot tamales,
Ooh, yes.
and I like to have some M&Ms, peanut M&Ms of some kind. Right now, I'm still really hooked on coffee nut M&Ms. Those are my very favorite.
Yeah, those are good.
And then we found last year during retreats that for some reason we are really craving veggies and dip.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, you get tired of all of the junk, and um we know a little better this year how to plan our time so that we have a little extra time to have meals, but we had only given ourselves an hour last year in between. And that sounds like a long time, but if you don't have it planned out ahead of time and you have to figure out what you're going to have and then either get it or fix it, by the time you get all that done, there's not a lot of time.
Right.
Our friends Felicity and Chloe, Fortunate Flossies here on FlossTube, just did a Frogwarts retreat guide, and they tell you how to survive a retreat on as little sleep as possible. And they show you how to make some of their favorite snacks, including butterbeer.
Ooh, nice.
Katie and I are thinking about maybe trying out some butterbeer. We'll see.
Ooh.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I can take that much sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. We've done butterbeer before, and it was basically just A&W cream soda with some butterscotch syrup in it.
You didn't do the topping?
We had like a, well, I think my husband just put vanilla ice cream in it. And it was maybe more adult in nature than that, but
Oh, okay. Yes, we won't be able to do the adult version during a retreat,
right.
or the people coming would get a whole different look
Yeah.
at retreats.
So I think I'll probably have popcorn.
Oh, I love popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn's a good snack for stitching, I think. But I have, oh man, so I'm going to try my best to do as much Frogwarts stuff as possible. But somehow, even though I'm not giving birth to a baby during this Frogwarts retreat, I'm more busy than I was last year. Um, my one of my nieces is coming to visit us. She tries to come visit us every summer, and she wasn't able to come visit last summer for, you know, pandemic and giving birth reasons. Me, not my niece, but so she's coming. It only really worked out for her to come. Well, it worked out best for her to come this week because this coming Saturday is James's first birthday party. So she's going. We're gonna. I think my husband is meeting his sister halfway to pick her up, and then she's just gonna go home with her mom after the birthday party. So we have a niece coming to visit. So I'll of course want to spend time with her because she's one of my people. Like, she's a really cool kid.
Just fire her own kit, Keisha.
It's true. Her mom does cross stitch, and so she would probably be perfectly fine if Lou decided to cross stitch too. But so we've got her coming to visit, and and then we have a first birthday party to have to throw and people to entertain there. So, you know, maybe I'll only be able to attend the closing day, which was the part I wasn't able to attend last year. So, um, then I'll feel like I got the whole Frog Wars experience.
There you go. Well, James did try to join the festivities for the closing ceremony.
So, if you guys haven't heard the story, so last year, you guys had decided that Frogwarts was going to be was it Saturday through Tuesday retreat?
Yes.
So, I got induced Monday night to have James on Tuesday. And, just lots of little things happened. So I ended up giving birth to James at 6 o'clock, exactly 6 o'clock on Tuesday, which was the time when the closing ceremony was scheduled to happen. So that baby was born during the retreat, but he was born during the closing ceremonies. I also participated in a challenge from the hospital.
Yes.
I took, guys, don't ask why. I didn't work on them while I was there, but I was like, oh, what if I had time to stitch? I don't know why I thought I'd have time to stitch, but you guys know your stitchers always bring cross stitch, right?
Yes.
You don't know what's going to happen to you.
ABC.
And I think I actually did stitch a little bit while I was just waiting for the induction to move things along. But there was a stash dive game where there was a prompt to one of the things that you had to find was a button or a charm, something like that. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I took Cozy Feet with me because I was like, what if I finish this other Mill Hill that I had, which I didn't finish until after James was born. You know, never be caught without cross stitch. You don't know. So I took two different things, and that one had a button, and so I took a picture of it, and I submitted it from the hospital. Like I took a picture with the cup in the like that the hospital gave me with ice water in it, just to be funny, just because I knew it would make Laura and Katie laugh.
And it did. We needed a good laugh about them.
Because that was a late night one, because it was after I had been admitted to the hospital. Like I had just gotten to the room. And I told Timothy, I was like, hand me my cross stitch stuff. And he looked at me like, what? Because they were like in the middle of like coming in and like, you know, getting me all hooked up to everything. And I was like, hand it to me. It's very important. I need to take a picture.
Like this is my stress reducer. Just do what I'm telling you.
I just want you to know that I was very dedicated. I didn't get the MVP for my house, but I tried. I tried. But I didn't watch that closing ceremony. I was a little preoccupied.
I know that people had to have been laughing at me because I had my phone and I'm sitting and I am frantically looking because I would have told everybody. And it was just funny because we were all waiting to hear if you had baby yet or not.
Right.
So
Well, and he was a little bit later than expected too. He should have been born like earlier in the day, but you know, things.
they
He was
come when
born
they're ready.
Yep. So, but it was funny. Another story from that day, since we were reminiscing about it, is my doctor joked that he needed to be born by 6 o'clock because that's whenever her daycare closed. And of course, like I think the person who watched her kids watched other doctors' kids, and she basically had a standing thing where, you know, she could go pick them up a little bit late. So it was just a joke. But yeah, she's like, he better be here by 6 o'clock. And he was born at exactly 6 o'clock. So
He's very punctual.
yes, that's the kind of boy I have.
Oh my goodness. We also got a cute little surprise. Jeff bought a couple of store-bought cakes, and they're chocolate cakes with chocolate frosting, so they're not quite accurate. But then he used pink frosting and he wrote our happy birthday and Katie's name on the big cake and my name on the little gluten-free cake. So it was very cute. But the best news about it is that this cake that he bought me is so good. I'm not a big cake eater, but this cake he bought is so good. And I have been, when I'm wanting cake, I've been going to a little cupcake place where they make gluten-free cupcakes. And I felt pretty good about that, but they're so expensive. So I get this whole cake and it's probably this big for less than the price of 2 cupcakes.
Well, guys, I hear motion upstairs, so I think my baby is awake. So, and my husband needs to be asleep for work, so we may have to go ahead and call it today. I did not finish BB-8, but I will
Well,
show
and
you where I got to.
I didn't do a ton, but I've gotten enough done.
So here's where I got to. I got in all of the darker gray on him. So
That
it's not a
looks
lot,
good.
but it's what I got done.
I finished the red door and did the stuff above it, put in the star, and started on the windows.
Nice.
So it'll be ready next time.
All right. Well, sorry to sorry to cut it short, guys, but I should probably go up there. My husband has to work tonight.
They don't always have to be feature-length films.
I know, but I like it when they are. All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us on a Monday night at now 10 o'clock.
So bye-bye.